A.D.V.I.S.S. Freestyle Sundays, season 9. I'm trying to stay faithful. Yeah. Faithful coming right from the Genesis. Looking at the peak and I'm sensing this. Because it's more like an antithesis to the hate and the lies that they mentioning. So I'ma go ahead, start digging in before they try to throw me in a ravine and listen in to all of the cues that they giving. You see the body language and how are they feeling? What do they tell you? Are they more a villain? Really trying to keep it be villainous. I'm villainous, really trying to do it indigenous to this place. But really I'm just faithful, just trying to stay right to it on the code like fidelity. But get your money in the bank fidelity. But really not trying to just relish, see. They see us all with these lies embellished, please. Keep them from the side, don't care it. Because I'm trying to keep my word, not sell it. If not, then the people will feel it. Right down to their core, so don't tell it. The measure be great, cause you know it's all late, whoa. But really I'm just trying to stay faithful to my word and what I'm saying to you. To the music and the crew, everything that we do. Like opportunities, I'm grateful. But I'm trying to stay faithful to me and to you. To the music and the crew. Not wasting my time to be wasteful. But I'm trying to stay faithful to me and to you. To the music and the crew. Because how the faith unrolls can tell you this common road will sometimes move and steer. It might make you fall off in jeer or really get mad, but I'm here and again. The power of a tournament, I'm jeering with the fin. But I'm trying to defend all of these cases. The faith that you have unlocked, man, just take it. Focus and attention internally to heal. That's how I see the faith and how you can deal with all the constant distractions that be active, but really not trying to be dumb and be reactive. Trying to really take your time to respawn. Listen to how the people will be, no more pawns. Really, I'm just trying to gaze right upon the way that this faith will bring us all one. Really, but the faith is how they bring to every other sins, but not really undo. But really trying to imbue this power and such, cause I'm trying to be faithful, no lying and stuff. Like all the opportunities, man, I'm grateful. But I'm trying to stay faithful to me and to you. To the music and the crew. Taking my time not to be wasteful. Cause I'm trying to stay faithful to me and to you. To the music and the crew. Because it's just a whole thin line from love and hate to faith and lies. But really can't really put a faith in a lie. When you believe, then you see how it's woven in lies. But try to break from it so they can see it disguised. Everything else they trying to bring down a demise. But really, man, the dim eyes that we looking straight through ain't got another soul, so they losing it too. So I can say that the faith is how you bring Elliot. But really this is more like Stroll to Stain Elliot. And really trying to connect heart, soul to soul. So we can see that we have the more faith and gold. But really the faith is gold to really let it ring. And everything else that has it all trying to sting from any parts. But really the finny parts, but any stars. By throw them all like they mini darts. But really it's in the start that we find it. If not, then you see that it's golden, not shining. But really trying to go and undermine it, but minded to craft another story and see how it shines in. Give us a case, it's being up on the pattern. But really this is faith to start like Adam. Where your evening at, but the evening's at. But really trying to do it now where they zingies at. That means I'm trying to shock from the system stats. But really this is how they do it now when it's straight to naps, drops. But really trying to get it straight tapped into how we feel, not really backing it. But really, man, each every day that I'm talking it, I'm trying to walk again. I'm DJ unking it, mock again, but really still wearing the unk again. Understanding that this whole life is how we marching it. And really trying to tell them how they do. I'm trying to keep my faith here and my faith towards you. To the music and the crew and everything that we can add. But really don't care, my name is A.D.V.I.S.S. We bring it back like opportunities here, man, I'm grateful. But I'm trying to stay faithful to me and to you. To the music and the crew. Not taking my time to be wasteful, but just trying to stay faithful to me and to you. To the music and the crew. Because it's just another stand that I take but never had underhand or undermine what other people said. I'm just trying to move it, recollect and understand that it takes a bit of time, a bit of energy, a bit of lethargy, a bit of knowledge and wisdom, see, and add them up. Don't have to be stoic, but understand how all of these rhymes are like poets. The way that it's rhythm and poetry together. rap it and put it on par, you wouldn't sever. Another clever line that goes back and really taps you into the world in stacks. You up like 3,000, what you wanna know? If you just gotta do it, look inside and see it hold. You hold yourself up to a standard, you should know, man, the discipline's inside, man, just let it glow. But Bruce Leroy will understand, but you just watch out, show enough on a different stand. I just wanna say the different plans coming in so you can see the faithfulness within the stand. Opportunities come and I'm grateful, but I'm trying to stay faithful to me and to you, to the music and the crew. Not taking my time to be wasteful. I'm just trying to stay faithful to me and to you, to the music and the crew. I'm really trying to do it. Hopefully y'all trying to do the same. Faithfulness, man. Being faithful to your craft. Being faithful to the words and the actions that you do. For yourself, for others, and for whatever passion that you have, man. Stay faithful, stay committed. Keep moving. Don't let anything stop you and tell you that it's not worth it. Because it is. Stay faithful. Peace.
Peace and love, y'all. It's your brother A.D.V.I.S. back with another Know About Me. And for today's Know About Me, we're going to talk about one of another philosophies that I've gotten to learn a little bit about, but again, I am not well versed in it. And that philosophy, for some people also, is a religion, which is Buddhism. So there's 5 things I want to talk about that I've learned a bit from Buddhism, and a few that have stuck with me that I added into my own personal philosophies, as well as just my understandings and understandings of the world and just philosophies around me. So 5 things that I do want to talk about from Buddhism, some of the lessons are: 1, talk about karma. 2, and talk about the 3 poisons. 3, wanted to talk about nirvana. 4, talk about the 4 noble truths. And then 5, talk about the 8th-fold path. And I don't remember all of the things in the 8th-fold path, so I'm going to grab my phone on that one and go from there, or at least the names. So when it comes to especially the first one, which we were talking about, karma, a lot of us have a huge misconception and understanding of what karma really is. I'm not saying that I fully perfectly know, but karma is more of what we would call a moral causation law. So like the law of moral causation, in a sense of, again, your actions and your intentions have consequences. Not the whole idea of like what goes around comes around, because it's not set in stone. It's not your fate, where it's like you haven't done anything wrong or you haven't caused an action for you to have this certain result. Which why some people say usually, why did the good die young, or being in the wrong place at the wrong time, like was that a part of your karma and things? No, not necessarily. But karma in itself, there's also a book that I've read that says the 12 laws of karma. So again, karma is just like the small surface of a whole larger understanding. And how I see karma, again, it's more of the consequences of your actions and your intentions. Not necessarily it is fate for you to have this certain action or thing happen to you without you doing nothing at all, which is not the case. So with karma, it's the things that you do and how you intend to do those things is how you will reap those effects from karma. Now, the second thing going into that, coming off of karma, is I'm going to go over a little bit, and I want to go into the 4 noble truths. And the reason why I want to go into the 4 noble truths, because it's going to tie into me talking about nirvana. And with the 4 noble truths, and Buddhism. And all of this stuff, you can please go check it for yourself. Don't just only listen to me on it. I'm still learning as I go, so I can always get a concept and an idea, wrong and also misunderstood. So just don't take me for it fully. Do your research. But the Four Noble Truths, the first one being that life is suffering, that everything that we do, that we witness, and we go through on a daily basis is suffering. Just living this existence here is suffering to a certain extent because of the fact that we're risking ourselves every single day. We wake up, we may have ailments. There's always something that's going on. It's very, very similar to, again, how your body works when it comes to just day in and day out in terms of health. Of literally, you're going through a breaking down process during the day. When you sleep is actually when you're restoring yourself, which is, again, very interesting to when you pair it together when thinking about how life is suffering, but not in always a negative idea of like, yes, that I'm just going to suffer and I will continue to suffer and there's nothing that's better than this. No, it's just the idea of that you will feel pain because you are alive. You will suffer because you are alive. Again, it's my understandings on it. The second one is the truth of basically the cause of suffering. And from there, it teaches that most of the cause of suffering is our attachments. And that can be attachments to, pleasures, attachments to desires, attachments to relationships and other people that tend to, again, keep us here planted in this life that saying that life is suffering. And because of those causes towards suffering, you will continue to experience suffering. And when that happens, and those causes, the third thing happens is the end of suffering. So knowing for you to be able to make your way out of this life of suffering, you will have to detach from all of these worldly things, whether if, again, relationships, desires, pleasures, all of those things, for you to end your suffering. And then from when you end the suffering, you go on to the path of ending the suffering, which leads to you being free or freedom and enlightenment that brings you to a state of nirvana. Now, from those four truths, that's what I'm saying, it leads right into nirvana. And nirvana, from all of that, again, what I've been learning too, is basically is a state of freedom and like ultimate bliss and joy. Like you're in a very enlightened state, as in you've broke away and you're free from all that can harm and suffer, or you're not suffering anymore. You're just in a blissful state, like a super awareness. And the ways you talk about that means it's almost like if you really like have died physically and you've transcended and went into the more of the spiritual, which is not necessarily the case. Is definitely learning about how to grow away from all of those things, so then after that you can have a huger vision of what that is. And it's not always like you're trying to seek out and only just be at nirvana. You're on that path, and sometimes it will, for folks who are practicing Buddhism, and there's different sects and setups and different parts of Buddhism that's like Neo-Zen Buddhism. Like there's whole other parts of them, but nirvana, being able to reach that peak of enlightenment and into that state, and be brilliant in those cases, is how you incorporate those four truths and breaking out of this life of suffering is from nirvana. Now, going from nirvana, the fourth thing is those things that can, three poisons that can actually hold you back from getting even to those states or understanding those four noble truths. And those three poisons that I definitely agree with are greed, hatred, and delusion. And hatred, of course, being, is that intense emotion. It's basically of just almost everything, depending what you're putting that hatred towards. It's really a very harmful energy. when you fully think about it. And I know there's some people that can say you have righteous hatred, but that's very hard pressed to say that you can have righteous hatred for something. You can definitely be upset and very mad and, righteous anger about something, but hatred, that's something that you hold heavy and deep. Some people can hold, again, holding grudges. When you hold stuff like that, you also have a negative impact on your person, your psyche, as well as your body. You can have ulcers because you're holding on to grudges. So I definitely agree with that being one of the poisons is hatred. The other one, greed. It's shown, especially like right now. You can take a look at like how greedy corporations and other people are, and you're seeing how many people are suffering even further because of the fact that we have 1% or even less than that taking more and more of the world's wealth and leaving people to live in states of poverty and poverty mindsets, poverty in just their physical beings and health. So definitely agree with that. And greed, like, definitely greed doesn't get you far. That's why it's one of the 7 deadly sins, or what's it called? A.D.V.I.S.S is another older name of it. But yeah, I definitely wholeheartedly agree with greed being one of those poisons. And then lastly, delusion, which heavily has impacted the 2020s, like since, I mean, it's been before, but it's even now so more than ever. And what I mean by delusions is like people are in their own states and thoughts of being and thoughts and their own realities to a point that they're not seeing what's in front of them. They're staying in a lot of the echo chambers that keep them from growing and fully figuring out truly who they are as people and bringing those to the forefront versus, again, sticking to their delusions and saying that everybody else is wrong, I'm the only one that's right, so that everybody else is crazy around me and I'm not the crazy one. Which, again, it can definitely poison and have a negative impact on your mind, your health, well-being. All of these 3 poisons, they will impact you, spiritually, physically, mentally, academically, if you want to say that too. But it's going to impact you so heavily that, yeah, it's reason why they're called those poisons. And again, I'm not saying delusion for those folks who are trying to meet a lofty goal. There's a difference between a lofty goal and delusion. A lofty goal is like something that you're putting up there that if you get to it, that, again, I'll be grateful, especially if I'm reaching a lofty goal. But in a sense of if it's delusion, is that like you're so delusional that knowing that it will never happen, you will continue to do it regardless. That's how I see the difference, or not wanting to hear from anybody and saying that this is how it is and it's going to be like this, knowing that it's going to change. That's what I mean by when it comes to delusion. Now, with that, the last thing, and then how all of this stuff has at least helped and applied to me. The last one being the Eightfold Path. And the first time I actually heard about the Eightfold Path, it was from A.D.V.I.S.S. Shouts out to A.D.V.I.S.S. It was from their project, The Information Age. And I'm trying to think, I think it's on their song, Keep On Learning, or Learning Something Growing. It's one of their songs. I can't remember what number, but that's when I first heard about the Eightfold Path. Now, what are you saying? What is the Eightfold Path? There are 8 different concepts that, again, will help to grow yourself within not only the philosophy, but reaching nirvana and all this other different stuff. So those 8 pieces of the Eightfold Path are right view, how you see things. Right intention is how you do things. Right speech is using your words to enhance and uplift, or, using your words precisely. Right action, again, also what do you do? Right livelihood is how you live your life day in and day out. At least, again, these are my understandings and understandings of it. Right effort is, how much energy, time that you put into things. And again, this is the philosophy. Right mindfulness, again, this is dealing with within the mind and how you are aware of just the surroundings around you. At least that's how I see it, of being mindful, full of what you see around you. And then right concentration It's when the time and place comes for it, being able to have the right mind state to be able to focus. That's how I see it there. But going down the Eightfold Path is another piece of the philosophy or religion of Buddhism that leads into all these other concepts and these learnings. But for me, there's much more I don't know about Buddhism. I haven't fully going into studying, but there's those type of concepts like, again, the 3 poisons that I wholeheartedly agree with, and I do speak on sometimes in the music I make, as well as when I have conversations with people, is just like really understanding and understanding what hatred can really do to somebody, knowing how greed can have a negative impact. I mean, there's stuff in the Bible about that too, is that you say money is the root of all evil, when it's really the love of money. For the love of money is the root of all evil, being greed. And also delusion, just being able to distract and keep people away from what's really truly happening in front of them. And that's very devastating. So I agree with that, as well as understanding that life is suffering, and that, attachments are what keep you bound to this world, and knowing that without letting that stuff go, you will continue to, experience pain. But I understand that that's the reality of the life that we live. So I understand that there's going to have to be a trade-off, because this world's not perfect. I'm not perfect. It's been designed the way that's been designed, because that's the purpose. The purpose behind it is to find meaning in all of this, the beauty within the decay. And then another concept of learning more about the karma, and knowing that it's just not fate. Like, you're going to have this, thing happen to you even if you didn't do anything. It's really learning that it's the law of moral causation of what you do. Your intentions and your actions is what's going to impact and come back around to you. Not just, it's going to happen just because you were standing over there and that was your fault. Like, no, it's what you put out there, you're going to end up receiving back. But those are like the few that, again, I tend to agree with and have used in some way, shape, or form within my own personal philosophies, and continue to as I'm moving through this life. But again, those have been the 5 that I've learned a bit about Buddhism. Whether, when it comes to karma, when it comes to nirvana, it comes to the 4 noble truths, and comes to the Eightfold Path, and then the 3 poisons. But other than that, y'all, this has been another episode of Know About Me. If you want to know more about me, please stay at the end of these so that you can know more about me. With that, I've been your brother A.D.V.I.S. This is Freestyle Sundays Season 9. I'm feeling well. Hopefully y'all feeling fine. We're going to keep it moving and keep it pushing, because whether if you're trying to find that faith, keep the faith, hold on to that faith. Make sure that you show that faithfulness to you, to the ones you love, to the passions you have, and all around the world, what you see. Peace.
The aliens.